What is going on, everybody? My name is Coda, and welcome back to Coda's Colognes. And today we're going to be looking at and reviewing the fragrance that started it all. This fragrance started my entire collection back when I was 15 years old, and that is going to be Polo Blue Eau de Toilette. Now, this is not a blow-away fragrance. This is not some crazy one. Most people have either smelt this or had this at some point in their lives. But for me, this is probably my most sentimental fragrance because this is the one that started it all. All right, so just as a really quick backstory as to why this fragrance means so much to me is I had an aunt named Lisa, and when I was 15 years old, she gifted me a small bottle of Polo Blue Eau de Toilette. Now, my Aunt Lisa was a spicy woman, to say the least. She's someone that felt that at all times you need to look, feel, smell, and act your best. You know, I can't hate on her for it because she lived that way. She truly believed that way. And she made it very clear to me that anytime that I wanted to feel good about myself, anytime I wanted to try to pick myself up, if I was ever down or in the dumps or anything, spray on a little bit of this because she told me scents hold memories. And she was a lot smarter than I gave her credit for back then because I had no idea what the hell she was talking about. But I will say that she was exactly right. That a lot of times when I want to feel a certain way, when I want to do something like that, I'll wear a scent that reminds me of that time. And that's exactly what happens. And unfortunately, she is no longer with us. She did pass some time ago. And that's exactly what happens. Anytime I grab this, smell this, it all reminds me of her, how spicy she was, and some of the fun conversations that we used to have. And that is why I'm doing this today, because this is today's scent of the day. And that is also why, out of my entire collection, this will be one that I will hold on to until it's discontinued. And even then, if I ever catch wind of this being discontinued, I'll go buy 10 bottles of it. I won't care. All right, so now that that little sap story is wrapped up, let's go ahead and get into the fragrance that is Polo Blue. So go ahead and show off the atomizer to start. Pretty decent atomizer. Most eau de toilettes do tend to burst out of the atomizer very easily due to their thinner nature. So all I'm gonna do is go ahead and put a couple there on the forearm. Go ahead and get this drying down. And as this is drying down, I'm gonna get this bottle spinning up. We'll get into the note breakdown. All right, so as this thing is spinning up, we're going to go ahead and dive straight into the notes. This one has top notes of cucumber, melon, and mandarin orange. That is what's going to give this such a fresh, green, citrusy vibe to it. And this does have a huge aquatic note vibe to it as well. The middle notes on this are going to be basil, sage, and geranium. And the base notes are going to dry down to a suede, woodsy notes, and musk. Now, with the blend of this all together, this gives it that heavy, aquatic, aromatic, kind of salty, little ozonic feel to it. But yeah, the biggest takeaway that you're going to get from this is just a mildly musky, sweet, fresh, soapy fragrance that's aquatic in nature, and you can wear this anytime, anywhere, just because this has such a mass appealing vibe to it. Now, it's not going to be a standalone fragrance. It's not going to be some fragrance that just blows everybody's mind. But this is a safe bet that you can wear anytime, anywhere that everyone likes. So that's going to wrap up this portion of the video. Let me get y'all flip back around and we'll get into it. Alrighty, and we are back. And I did not have to give this much of a dry down period because this thing does dry down. Due to being an eau de toilette, this thing does dry down very quickly. And there's not some huge dramatic change from opening spray to the dry down. So just as the name says, this is a very blue fragrance. And by blue fragrance, whenever you first spray this, you get C notes, a little bit of salty notes. It's very clean, it's very fresh, it's a little bit soapy. It's got a little bit of a citriness to it. It's got like the smallest touch of wood notes in here. So whenever you blend all that up, to me, that is the perfect definition of a blue fragrance. It's something that's fresh, it's aquatic, a hint of little minerals to it with just a touch of woodiness to it. And to me, this is a summertime scent all day long. But with that being said, if you're someone who loves those fresh, blue, clean fragrances, give this one a shot. As mass appealing as this is, as long as this has been around, I imagine everybody smelled this at least once. As far as pricing and availability for this, it's everywhere. There's not a place that's not going to have this. And that's discounters and retail alike. Now, retail price on this is a little bit steep. The retail on this one, because this is a 125 ml bottle, I bought a bundle pack. I can't even remember how long ago. But the current retail price on this is about $100 to $110. Now, with that being said, you can pick this up on discounters for about 60 bucks. And if you get a tester, I think you can even drop that down into the 50s. So I highly recommend getting this on discounters. Now, performance-wise on this, due to it being a blue fragrance by nature and due to it being an eau de toilette, this does not have the biggest performance. On my skin, this goes about 4, maybe 5 hours. And that is spraying just a smidge heavier than I normally would. The projection on this, it actually has pretty decent projection for what it is. It projects a couple feet. Most blue soapy fragrances kind of tend to do that for some reason. I don't know if it's the citroness to it or what, but this actually has pretty decent projection. Sillage is okay. It's 1 to 2 foot on the sillage. I actually think the projection might be a little bit better than the sillage on this. And like I said, and if you wanted to make this like a monster fragrance, you could. You're just gonna have to put 12 sprays of it on, which I don't ever recommend anybody doing that, because that's a little much. Now, if you wanted to refresh halfway through your day, like say you put 6, 7 sprays on, something like that, and then 4 or 5 hours later hit another 4 or 5 sprays, something like that, then yeah, you could turn this into an all-day fragrance. And, you know, as a lot of people know, that's what I like to do. Now, when you refresh this fragrance, it doesn't really change much. Not a whole lot happens. It pretty well smells exactly the same. But yeah, this is definitely a summer scent for me. This has a mass appeal. Go ahead and get it on that a little bit. It is a nice bottle. Bottle's a little bit big. I kind of wish it was a little less this way and a little more this way. This is a mass appealing scent. You can honestly, if it's a summer scent, more than likely you could wear it anytime throughout the year. It's not all fragrances can be a summer scent, but all summer scents can be worn all year round, if that makes any sense. So this could be worn all year round. Spray it a little heavier in the winter, you'll still be fine. It's mass appealing. You can wear this anywhere. You're not going to offend anybody with this. This is one of the safest options you could possibly have in your collection, because everybody's going to like this. But yeah, so for all those reasons, and because I am sentimentally biased toward this, I'm going to give this fragrance a 10 out of 10 on my rating, because I love this. This is, like I said, this is the one that started it all. This is when I'm missing somebody, I'll spray this on and it makes me think of her. And for that reason alone, I will always keep this. So that is going to go ahead and get us wrapped up and get in on this one more time. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. And if you would, I kind of want to do something on this real quick. Leave me, if anybody else has a fragrance that holds a deep sentimental value to them, let me know what it is in the comment section. I genuinely want to know, because I know everyone, if you're into someone who's in this hobby and has a collection of fragrances and stuff like that, everybody always has those 1 or 2 that no matter what, they're going to hold on to forever. Whether it's your favorite scent, whether it's going to be a sentimental scent, or it's just something along those lines. There's a few that some people will always have. Let me know what those are in the comment section. I genuinely kind of want to know, because I know I'm not the only one that holds on to one just for these reasons. But that is going to wrap us up. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.